Taped from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds, the show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out over Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, John Trumbull.
And I'm your co-host, Darren Patterson.
How you doing, Darren?
I'm okay. I'm all right, apocalypse withstanding. Everything's okay.
Yeah, we're surviving. Okay, we are still both quarantining. We just figured it out before we started recording. This is our 7th episode that we have recorded at home. So,
wow,
we're more experienced at doing at-home episodes than SNL is right now.
Hey-oh, zingaroo. Look at you with your jabs.
And if we sound a little different, hopefully we sound a little better this week because we weren't nuts about the sound quality we were getting on the program we were using to record this. So we're trying out a new program this week. We are trying out Zencastr.
Right.
So far, I'm liking it.
Yeah, it's simple. It sounds like we're advertising for them. This sounds like a commercial, but no, it is like a lot easier and better, this one. So this might be the gold standard for us here.
I like it. We did a little test show yesterday. Frank Hablawi, super producer Frank Hablawi, walked us through the ins and outs of this, and it's pretty simple. It's pretty intuitive, and I'm liking it so far.
Right.
So, fingers crossed this works out.
This might be it. If it sounds better, if it sounds worse, let us know, guys. We do this all for you, the people.
Yes, we are magnanimous that way.
Indeed.
And for this week, we are covering. I mean, we were expecting to cover the TV movie, the Netflix movie, a Futile and Stupid Gesture. But then SNL threw a monkey wrench at us again, and on Thursday they announced they were doing another SNL at Home episode.
Yeah, it shocked us. They dropped these things with no warning, like a Beyonce album, or like when or it's like when U2 dropped that album on everybody's iPhone, and everybody got all mad.
And no one was expecting it. And and we don't mind having a new episode of SNL, but it throws our plans into disarray a little bit when they don't announce it until Thursday.
Yeah.
And we record this podcast on Sunday, release it on Monday. So we usually figure out what we're doing at least a week in advance. So it's nutty.
Yeah, I know. Like, we tell people we're going to do a certain episode, Futile Stupid Gesture, and then SNL comes out and put that a new episode, and now we're made to look the fools.
Yeah, they made liars out of us.
I know.
And we had National Lampoon, the Twitter account, tweet at us about doing the Futile and Stupid Gesture thing. So
I know. Now they're like, going to think we're some 2-bit operation who don't know what they're doing, and now we're made to look like dopes. We're dopes.
But no, we tweeted back at them, and we appreciate the interest, and we're just putting a pin in that for this week. So it looks like, because SNL announced that they are going to be rerunning the Daniel Craig weekend episode next week on May the 2nd. So I think we're going to do a Futile and Stupid. I keep wanting to reverse that. We're going to be doing that movie next week instead.
So stay tuned, people.
Mm-hmm. But this week, we are going to cover SNL at Home episode number 2, which in the season, it's season 45, episode 17 from April 25th, 2020.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what an episode it was.
It was an episode. I mean, these at Home episodes, because the sketches are shorter and they're a little more limited in what they can do, they pack a lot more sketches into them. I just counted them up before we started recording, and there were 19 segments in this show.
Oof, it's a whole lot of funny.
That's a lot. And SNL usually does probably like 12 or 13 segments in a show. I don't know what the exact count usually is, but it's more than usual.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess, because like with these at-home episodes, there's no costume changes and the like, so you have some more time to fit in more sketches. And plus, all these sketches seem to go at 2 minutes, 3 minutes at the most. Weekend Update, is longer, but everything else is pretty short.
Yeah. The sketches are shorter, but a thing I was impressed by, and I tweeted about this on the SNL Nerds Twitter account at SNL Nerd Show, if you want to follow us. Um, this episode was much more technically ambitious than the first SNL at Home episode, I thought.
Yeah, I think I saw people online talking about that. How they're saying like the editing was better. It seemed like they kind of stepped up their production a little bit more on this
Mm-hmm.
one. It felt more like a regular SNL episode and not as kind of janky DIY experimental as like the first episode was.
Yeah. I think the first at home episode, they were just kind of putting their toes in the water and seeing what they could do, figuring it out as they went. And in this one, they had a better idea of what the possibilities were. And I feel like maybe some of the cast members had costumes or wigs sent to them, or maybe they have a bunch of those items on hand. I don't know. But there was a lot more in the way of costuming and wigs and not quite makeup, but a little bit.
A little bit, but yeah, mostly like wigs and suits and what have you. I'd like to think a lot of them have them at home on hand for
Yeah.
in case of emergency, break glass type of situations.
Yeah, in case it's like a Judy Garland, Mickey Rooney type of thing, like, hey, kids, let's put on a show and save the barn.
I love your timely references. It's amazing.
I know.
Mickey Rooney? Okay.
I am hip with the kids of today.
The kids of today love Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland going to sock hops, snuggling up with their best gal.
Yeah.
Listening to the animals or whatever. I don't know. All right, this analogy's falling apart.
Yeah. The animals, they did that song, "We Got to Get Out of This Place," and that's what everyone's feeling right now. We're all self-isolated in quarantine. But let's dive into the show. Let's talk about these specific sketches, shall we?
Yeah. So cold open. It opened with Anthony Fauci as played by a one Brad Pitt.
Yes, Bradley Pitt. He's like this young, struggling actor, I believe, that that SNL got out of obscurity.
Yeah, actually, it's William Bradley Pitt. I think I remember reading somewhere that like Brad is actually his middle name. His first name is actually William.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
I
right.
wonder if there was already a William Pitt with SAG or something, and he had to go by Brad.
Maybe.
Catchier. I'm going to research that when we're done recording.
Okay. Also another fact that I just looked up: Brad Pitt never hosted SNL.
That's interesting. That's unusual. You would have thought they would have gotten to him by this point. Has he even done a cameo on the show?
He did because like when I saw him in the opening sketch, it did occur to me, it's like, wow, like I was surprised to see him on SNL. And then I thought, wait, has he ever hosted? And then I looked it up. He did a cameo in '98, but he's never hosted.
Interesting. Okay.
What up with that?
I wonder why that has never happened. And he, like Brad Pitt, seems to have a really good sense of humor about himself. He's he in recent years he's played the weatherman on the Jim Jeffries show on Comedy Central, and apparently he was just such a fan of Jim Jeffries that he did that for scale.
Wow.
I remember Jim Jeffries on guest starring on some talk show, and he was like, "Yeah, his rates are very reasonable." And he, I see just doing a search on Brad Pitt weatherman. He is also played a weatherman on John Krasinski's YouTube show that he's been doing the last few weeks.
Wow.
So, yeah, Brad Pitt seems like a good sport. And I didn't realize until after SNL aired that this was something that the real life Dr. Anthony Fauci joked about. Like he was asked during a press conference, who would you like to have play you on Saturday Night Live? And he answered facetiously, "Oh, Brad Pitt."
So, guys, put it out there or put it on your vision board. If you say who you want to play you in a movie or a TV show, it could come true.
I mean, if Lorne Michaels might be listening, so I thought that was pretty cool. And it seems like half the reason they did this was for like a meta reason to sort of a tribute to to Anthony Fauci, because he's like one of our few genuine sources of information these days, it seems.
Yeah, very much so. And SNL, I'm putting it out there right now. If you want anybody to play, John or myself in the SNL Nerds version of, whatever you do in Saturday Night Live, I would like to have Morris Chestnut play myself. Thank you.
Interesting choice. Yeah, I noticed. I was looking at our notifications, and my old college roommate Scott Hume, he said he asked, "What did you think of Brad Pitt as Fauci?" I thought it was a great nod to his putting out in the world that Pitt should play him. Given that, who should play each of you on SNL? And gosh, I don't know who I would want to have play me on SNL. Darren, do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, to play you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of people would say, Richard Mall from Night Court. That's the easy go-to. But I don't know. For you, want to dream big, man. Like have somebody like I don't know, David Bautista or something like that.
I'm not seeing either one of those, but okay. If that's what you're feeling, sure, why not?
Yeah.
In my younger days, I would have dreamed of Josh Charles from Dead Poet Society and Sports Night. And, probably best known for The Good Wife now. I always liked him. He's like my exact age too, I think.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. I don't devote a great deal of thought to who would play in a comedy sketch or on a biopic. But
okay.
Yeah, now they'd pick some bald guy and be like, done.
Oh, hey, bald. Hey, Michael Chiklis. All right, sure.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, because like when you're bald, it's just like, yeah, that's your only defining characteristic.
No hair, I got it.
Yeah. But this sketch, it was pretty good. It was just Anthony Fauci correcting Trump's various misstatements, and this was kind of unusual in that they used real footage of Trump. No Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, very much so. Just, I mean, I think we're at that point where just real life is enough fodder for comedy. Like, there's no line between satire and real life anymore. It's all wacky entertainment.
I mean, who would have believed the world that we are living in today, even just a year ago, or let alone like 3 or 4 years ago? It's nuts.
It's pretty. It's pretty weird.
Yeah, we live in a weird world, but I think it's important to remember it's just going to be a temporary thing. I mean, the world we're going to enter into may be different, but hopefully it will be somewhat resembling normal someday. And at the end of this, Brad Pitt, he broke character and took off his wig to thank Dr. Anthony Fauci for real. And I thought that was interesting. You don't usually see an SNL sketch, and certainly not a cold open end like that.
Yeah, no, that was really weird. How they he got very sincere and say thank you for your service and thank you for everything you're trying to do to help keep us informed in these insane times, which I appreciated.
Yeah, but it was nice, and you could tell it was from the heart. So next, we didn't have any sort of host monologue thing like we did with Tom Hanks last time. So they just dove right into sketches after this. Next, we had the return of an old favorite. We had What's Up With That at Home with Keenan reviving his host character from that sketch.
Yeah, this surprised me because for one thing, it's been a while since I've seen a What Up With That sketch, and for another thing, just to see a What Up With That sketch at home, like I didn't think they would do that because these What Up With That sketches they seem to work best in a live setting when like the energy is up and everybody can like really get into it. So like I was interested in seeing how this would play out. Yeah,
and this was interesting also just because most of the cast members that Keenan did this sketch with back in the day have since left the show, and Keenan is still with the show. But we had the grand return of Jason Sudeikis as the running man, and we had Fred Armisen as the saxophonist. The backup singers singing the theme song were replaced, but they basically just sang the number, so I think that was fine.
Yeah, yeah, and the guest host they had was Charles Barkley and
Hmm.
DJ Khaled, and
Yeah.
of course, as always, Lindsey Buckingham.
I really missed not seeing Bill Hader as Lindsey Buckingham for real. Um, that I feel like it's a vital component of the what's up with that sketch. I thought it was kind of clever that they did the connection lost thing, but I would have loved to just see him for real. I know it's a silent part, and maybe Bill Hader couldn't do it for whatever reason, but I really missed that.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely tell it was just like some footage from an old "What's Up with That" episode, and yeah, you're right. Like, what would we're still doing right now? Everybody's at home. He can't. He doesn't have a silver wig and a red shirt. He could just throw on.
I don't know, yeah, or if nothing else, like put some baby powder in your hair and cray it up that way.
Yeah,
Um,
come on, Bill.
I don't know why. Who knows what's going on with Bill Hader? Hope he's doing well, but I missed him. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah,
Um, but this is a sketch that was much more technically ambitious. There was a lot more editing involved. There's a lot more different angles and effects, and like Keenan had his wig, and he had like a suit. What's the name of his? What's up with that character? I'm blanking on that right now.
oh shit, that's a good question. I don't even. I'll look that up now. But yeah,
Okay.
but as you said, it was more technically ambitious. There was like a lot of kind of screensavers popping up once they get into the big "What's Up with That" song. There were like
Yeah.
cats with sparklers and dancing gorillas and bubbles everywhere. It was like, wow, this is quite a bit.
DeAndre Cole is his character's name.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, we had Sudeikis making his return as the running man, and it looked like it was new footage. And Fred Armisen as the saxophonist, but maybe they recycled that. I'm not sure. And Cecily Strong showed up as Quarantina, who was like a singer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I was like, hey, we get some Cecily Strong in this episode. All right.
Yeah, it was nice to see her back because she and Bowen Yang more or less sat out the last episode. I think they were going through some tough times. I saw they posted a Zoom chat that they had with each other where they were talking about it. So I think they needed like a little more time. And I don't. Did you see the Vulture piece that Cecily Strong did this week?
Oh yes, I did. I think I retweeted that on our Twitter account, SNL
Yeah.
Nerds, SNL Nerds Show.
Yeah. I saw it when you retweeted that, and yeah, her cousin had passed away recently. I don't think it was because of coronavirus complications, but it was a piece about mourning her cousin while she's under quarantine, which is a tough thing to go through.
Oh man, it is. Yeah, that is rough.
So yeah, all our best to Cecily Strong, and I hope Bowen Yang wasn't going through something similar to that, but who knows? And but it's nice to see like an old favorite come back, and it'd been so long since they'd done What's Up with That. We'd really had a chance to miss it. It looks like the last time they did it before this was in 2015 on the 40th anniversary special.
Yeah, there's just something about the sketch. Like, I mean, I know we've talked about it before, like how when certain sketches hit the same beats and have the same joke over and over again, it can get kind of tiring.
Mhm.
But for some reason, I do not get tired of hearing the same song and the sketch hit the same beats. Like for some reason, whenever I hear the song, I smile. Like this song gets me dancing. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
It's just a fun sketch, I think, just because it's so absurd. It's definitely, I think, my favorite thing that Keenan has ever done on the show. So it was nice to have it back.
Cosign. I cosign with that.
Yeah. So next, we had a sketch called Snapchat Filter Reporter, which was Mikey Day as a reporter in the field trying to place a report while he's at home under quarantine, and Ego Nwadum as the anchor who's talking to him. And the joke here was he's using his daughter's phone, and it's got all sorts of goofy filters on, and he's not aware of that and doesn't really know how they work. And he's trying to deliver very serious stories while you see this absurd visual.
Right. I mean, basically, this is kind of a retread of a sketch that was in the Adam Sandler episode, where it was like where a reporter was reporting on some war activity happening overseas, and he was like talking to some terrorists, and I think the cameraman, he couldn't use his camera, so he used a camera phone, and then they were talking to terrorists, and the terrorists had like IG Snapchat face filters on them. So it was basically like a repeat of that.
Yeah, didn't they do something like this the last time that Jim Carrey hosted, or am I misremembering?
I know they did it before. I definitely remember the Adam Sandler one, but they might have done it on the Jim Carrey episode too.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this was all right. This was just kind of a quick thing. I don't think it really overstayed its welcome, but it was fine. It didn't really rise above fine for me, though.
Yeah, it's like one of the things, like once you get the joke, it kind of hits that same joke over and over again. It doesn't really go anywhere with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was okay.
Okay, so next we had Pete Davidson doing his music video "Stuck in the House," which is just basically exactly what it sounds like. It's a music video about him being stuck in the house.
Yeah, he's getting tired of everybody asking how's he doing, how's he holding up. He's watched all of Ozark, and he's just stuck in the house.
Yep.
And
yeah, this I thought it was kind of limited because it's by necessity shot at home at his mom's place in Staten Island. And the most surprising thing about this, I think, was we had the Adam Sandler cameo.
Yes, absolutely. Like halfway through the song, it stops being about Pete being stuck in a house, and then it goes to Adam Sandler and him being stuck in a house and with his family. Once Adam Sandler got involved, I think the sketch started to pick up a little bit more, just because Adam Sandler's maybe a little bit more adept at doing comedy songs and whatnot. So once he came in, it became a little bit more fun, and we got to see another cameo by Rob Schneider in this thing too.
Yeah, exactly, and it was fun. It's always fun when they bring in the SNL alums to make a little surprise appearance, especially when they're going through a tough time like this. So it was really cool to see both Sandler and Schneider lend their support and add to this. And it was neat to see Adam Sandler's family, his wife and his daughters were in there too, and they held up some signs thanking the essential workers at the end. So
yeah. I'm actually, after seeing this, I'm pretty confident now that Pete's going to come out of this quarantine with a comedy album ready to go, because this is the third music video he's done, and I'm like, is he going to come up with an album when this is all said and done?
Could be. I could see that happening.
Quarantine Hits by Pete Davidson.
You're seeing this as just all musical comedy, I guess?
Yeah. I mean, Jimmy Fallon came out with an album and Sandler came out with an album. Why not Pete Davidson? This is his foray into comedy music.
Sure. Yeah. Why not? Yeah, I think he could definitely do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, free idea for you, Pete Davidson.
Yes, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Next, we had a grocery store ad. This was a Kate and 80 joint. They were doing an ad for a grocery store called Bartonson's. And they basically have the dilemma that all the grocery stores have right now, which is there's just such a run on items. They're limited in their supply. And they talked about how they had an abundance of certain obscure products because of the pandemic, like Boy Scout cookies, which are always wet.
Yes. Wine from Missouri.
And because a lot of people are ordering their groceries online and having them delivered, and if the grocery store doesn't have something, it asks if you want a substitution. So it's like, you wanted toilet paper. Would you want a DVD of Van Helsing?
Zing! That movie sucks.
Yeah, just some unwarranted shade at Van Helsing. Well, warranted shade, but out of nowhere shade, I suppose.
I mean, I gotta admit, I didn't see Van Helsing, but I heard enough people saying it was garbage. My sister, friend of the podcast, she saw it. She's like, yeah, that movie was terrible.
Yeah, I was warned off on Van Helsing by a few friends of mine, so I have never seen all of Van Helsing either.
Okay.
So Yeah, all I know is it's Hugh Jackman killing monsters, and it was one of Universal's many attempts to make a new franchise out of their Universal horror monsters.
Uh, Wait,
Didn't go so hot.
did Universal also do that movie Jonah Hex? I never saw it either, but I remember hearing that was pretty basura.
Jonah Hex is actually based on a DC comic book. That was a Western comic that ran for years and years and years. And when in the mid '80s, when the sales start to dip, they transported the character into the future and made him like a Mad Max sort of character. And that didn't quite work, and it was canceled after about a year and a half.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Good to know.
And I've not seen the movie with Josh Brolin and Megan Fox, but it looked pretty horrible, and it did not really look like what Jonah Hex ought to be.
Yeah, I remember it looked not great.
Yeah.
Wow, we really went off on a tangent there. But yeah, back to the sketch.
Yes. So anyway, enough about Van Helsing and Jonah Hex. Please tune in to our spin-off podcast, the Van Helsing Jonah Hex podcast, which will be debuting any week now on the Non-Productive Network.
Stay tuned. Click and subscribe. But yeah, I mean, as far as this sketch goes, I liked it because it was like a lot of kind of rapid fire, quick jokes about the all the stuff that they have in the store. Less left over, like a frozen Hawaiian pizza, mint Pringles, Pepto-Bismol Oreos, and there was this running gag about there's plenty of Dasani left over. Like they're just taking shots at Dasani water constantly.
Yeah, I didn't quite get that because I've always enjoyed Dasani water just fine, but who knows what's going on there?
Yeah, I know. If, for some reason, a lot of people aren't crazy about Dasani. I gotta look into it, but once I saw that sketch about how they were constantly ragging on Dasani, I was like, oh, I think that's a thing. People like Dasani is not great.
Yeah, but I enjoyed this. There was a lot of fun, absurd, yet really specific products here, and Kate and Adie, they always have fun working together. I liked at the end where we had Adie like trying to put her arm around Kate, but because they're not in the same room at all, it doesn't. The footage doesn't quite match up. That was a nice touch.
Yeah, I dug this. This was a good sketch. I kind of dug it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next up we got Big Dominican Lunch with Big Papi.
Yeah, it's called Big Papi Cooking Show on YouTube.
Oh, right. And so it's basically Keenan playing his Big Papi character, David Ortiz from the Boston Red Sox, and he's doing a cooking show where you just kind of cook with stuff that's around your house when you don't have mofongo ready to go. And it's just basically Keenan cooking and him hamming it up as Big Papi.
Yeah, making a big Dominican lunch. He made I think it was like some sort of 7-meat soup at some point. And there was like, half a cob of corn in there. Just a lot of big, massive food.
Yeah, and like at one point he taped an iPhone to the ceiling so you could see like what he was cooking inside. And then at one point the iPhone fell off and like into the pot. That was funny.
Yeah, and this was shot very well, and considering it was probably it had to be shot by Keenan at home. I don't know if he actually shot it on an iPhone or something, but it was pretty impressive technically.
Yeah.
And also, go ahead.
No, there's a lot of graphics and stuff too. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, and also Keenan seems to have a very nice kitchen.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. I was like, whoa, you got an island and everything.
Yeah, Keenan seems to have a very lovely home. We saw many different areas and angles of it tonight. So, it seems like Keenan's bought himself a nice place.
He's doing pretty well. And also we got another cameo here when Big Papi introduces his Puerto Rican cousin, Big Bunny, who I had to look it up. He's actually like a rapper singer named Bad Bunny. So we got a cameo from Bad Bunny.
I felt like, okay, this is someone I'm supposed to recognize, but I don't. I have no idea if this is like a sports person that I'm not aware of, but knowing that it's a rapper I was not aware of, that makes sense.
Yeah, like I kind of heard the name Bad Bunny too. So like I knew there was like some new artist out there named something Bunny. So I looked it up just to make sure, and I was like, oh yeah, it's that Bad Bunny dude. And he did have one kind of joke that I kind of liked, where he said, "Oh hey, Big Poppy, you're looking good. What's your secret?" And he said, "Oh, I got shot." I don't know why that made me laugh.
Yeah, that's pretty good because that's just out of nowhere. I thought this was okay, but the David Ortiz Big Poppy stuff has never really spoken to me, just because I'm not a sports person. So I have no awareness of David Ortiz outside of the context of SNL.
Right. No, that's fair enough. It's kind of like when Keenan does his LeVar Ball character. Like I've heard of him, but I don't know him because I'm not into sports like that. But it's like, so it doesn't hit as hard with me as it would with somebody else.
Yeah. So, I'm not really saying, oh, it's bad and we shouldn't do it. I'm just saying it doesn't really work for me because I don't have the context for it. I thought this was a little long. The time on YouTube, it looks like it was 3 minutes, 15 seconds. I would think I would have been fine with just 2 minutes, but
yeah, it's like one of those, again, it's like one of those things where if, it hits the jokes and you kind of, it doesn't really, it kind of goes somewhere, but it seems it could have been shorter and a little bit more compact and hit a little bit more harder. But either way, I got a kick out of this.
Mm-hmm. All right. So next we had Airbnb commercial. This was basically a showcase for Chloe Fineman. She was playing an Airbnb hostess and the guest. And the premise here was she had a guest that was supposed to stay for 3 days, but she ended up staying a month because of the quarantine. And she's driving, and Chloe is driving Chloe crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting just because it was like she was playing two characters in the same sketch, and her Swedish character is this kind of crazy person who dresses in bright rainbow colors. At one point, she admits, "Oh, I can only pay her with Swedish black market money." And at one point, they have Chloe, the host of the Airbnb, talking to her mom through FaceTime on the laptop, and then Chloe, the guest, was kind of peeking in through the corner. So there was like two Chloes on the screen at the same time. I was like, wow, this is this is. I mean, I don't know much about technology, but it seems pretty high tech stuff here.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's impressive that I'm sure the effects people who put that together were working from their home setups, and so that was cool. A lot of pixelated nudity in this one, which is always good for a laugh. This was fine. It was. I didn't love it, didn't hate it, but it had some funny moments.
All right, so the next sketch is released early. It's a Chris Red joint, and he's basically a guy who got out of jail early because of COVID-19, and he's kind of hitting up all his lady friends on FaceTime chat, the phone thing. Trying to get some sexual healing, some conjugals, as they say in the streets.
Yeah, and we had Ego as his girlfriend, and then we had 80 as Anne, a woman that he'd been exchanging letters with while he was in jail. And it turns out she has a whole family and kids, and she pretty much made up her whole identity when she was talking to him because she never expected him to get out of prison.
Yeah, I think at one point Ego says like, "Oh, I thought you got locked up for like 600 years for like, recording all the illegally recording all the episodes of The Sopranos box set." That's very specific.
What a great random reason to go to jail. You always see those warnings, but you never think it applies to you.
That's right.
And finally, we had Cecily as Stacy, who is she's like in a hoodie sweatshirt, and she's having a sneezing fit, but she claims it's just allergies.
Right, but it's probably not.
Probably not. No, she's probably dying. She's got the got the corona.
She got the Rona.
She got the Rona.
But yeah, I mean, as far as sketches go, I thought this was okay. Pretty simple premise. Nothing too crazy.
It was all right. I think this was about the point in the show where I think the technical limitations they were operating under started to get to me because because everybody's in the cast is isolated, you got to do a lot of sketches of people talking over Zoom or talking over FaceTime or doing a solo thing. And this was a point in the show where the monotony started to get to me a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that.
So,
yeah, but otherwise it was all right. Chris Redd's always an enjoyable performer to watch, and he's always good for a laugh.
Yeah, I thought all the performances were good, and I liked this sketch. I think I would have liked it more. Pardon the pun, in isolation from from the rest of the show. But it's just if you have this many sketches of people like talking over Zoom or FaceTime, it gets a little monotonous.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. They go into the well maybe one too many times.
Yeah, and I don't know what else they could do because they are operating under these limitations, so you got to grade them on a curve. But
yeah, fair enough.
That was how I feel. Yeah, maybe the at-home episodes would work better if they were just an hour, but there are probably legal reasons they couldn't do that.
Yeah, probably. All right. Okay. Yeah. So far, it's so far the show's so far so good.
Yeah. So far, I'm feeling pretty good about the show. That changes with the musical guest.
I knew you were gonna. That's okay. Here we go.
Next, we had Miley Cyrus singing a cover of Pink Floyd's "Wish You Were Here," which this was a first for me. I've never tweeted my opinions about an SNL show while it's airing since we started this podcast because I like to save whatever opinions I have for the podcast, but I hated this.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter last night, and wow, I was like, whoa, you hated this that much that you had to let your feelings be known just right in the moment, the heat of the moment.
Yeah, in the heat, which is a song I would have rather heard.
Oh, who wouldn't? I love some Asia.
One, I'm not a Miley Cyrus fan. I don't really like her voice. And I don't particularly like the song "Wish You Were Here" from Pink Floyd. I never thought it was a particularly good song before all this. And I'm really, really sick of all these songs that are trying to tie in with coronavirus and quarantine. You're hearing them in a lot of commercials, and they're trying to be inspiring or touching or clever with somebody doing "I Think We're Alone Now" or I'm just done with that, Yeah, no,
I see what you're saying. You want something kind of more maybe upbeat and maybe not reminding you of the weird, bizarre hellscape we're in these right now. Where
exactly. I'm looking for escape. I'm looking for fun, escapist stuff that doesn't remind me of the current situation. I don't think it's very helpful to be bemoaning what is happening. You should be conscious of it and all that, but I don't know. It didn't work for me, partly because of Miley, partly because of the song, partly just because I'm fed up with all the, aren't we clever tying in with quarantine and, I wish you were here.
So you're telling
No.
All right, so
it's not clever. I've seen 6 weeks of that.
Oh man. All right, so you're telling me you'd rather her sing "Party in the USA"? That's what I'm getting from this.
Not really. Honestly, if I didn't have to listen to it for the podcast, I would have muted this number.
Wow. I get it. Just because she has a very kind of raspy, nasally kind of voice.
She's done stuff I liked. I think it was the first time, the last time she was on the show, she sang "Merry Christmas, War Is Over" by John Lennon with Sean Lennon, and I thought that was really nice. I thought that was a nice number.
Okay, all right, but yeah,
this did not work for me at all.
But yeah, I can see that. This, I thought it was okay, but the voice. I don't. It's weird. Sometimes her voice sounds one way, sometimes it sounds another. So it's really hard to kind of, I guess, grade her as a singer. But otherwise, I thought it was all right. But yeah, I'd be okay with maybe not having her sing that song.
Yeah. So anyway, well, glad she didn't do a second number.
Yeah, wow. But it's weird too because like I am looking on Twitter and like a lot of people actually enjoyed it and like really liked it. So it's like, wow, I guess you're in my.
I know. I got blowback from a guy on Twitter who was like, "Oh, by utterly awful, do you mean terrific?" And I was like, "No, I meant fucking awful, dude."
God damn. Wow. Wow. The bull is loose.
Mess with the Trumbull, you get the horns.
Oh.
But anyway, so next we had we had Weekend Update with Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Jay.
And this was a little different from last week. They had the backgrounds with the maps behind them. I guess they did that as like a Zoom background or something, and no other cast members on Zoom to provide laughter.
Yeah. I guess maybe they got the word about that, or maybe they just thought, all right, maybe it works better without it. But yeah, it was just them and their jokes.
Just them and their jokes, delivering their jokes to silence. So it seemed, I mean, it gives you like this weird subliminal feeling that like everything is bombing.
Yeah, very much so.
So let's see. What did I write down about Weekend Update? Were there any lines that stuck out at you?
Oh yeah. Well, there was one point, of course, it talked about how the president said, "Oh, maybe if you drank, detergent or disinfectant, that might help." And I think at one point, Colin called him President Clean, like a Mr. Clean type of thing. And also, Che had like a good line where he was saying something like, "Hey, do you know how sometimes like another family has to step in and take a kid off another family's hands when it looks like that family is going through stuff and they're not able to take care of a kid? Well, could another country take custody of the U.S.? Because our president isn't in the right way."
Yeah, that was good. That was a really good way to phrase it. And Che always seems he's got a real gift for having interesting, insightful observations that he expresses in a funny way. And I like how he also said, like, because the president said, "Oh, when I said people should drink bleach, I was being sarcastic." And Che said, "That's just what you say when you've said something terrible."
I was kidding. I kid.
Yeah. And let's see. I have this line. I'm not sure which one of them said it. All the people protesting live when there's nowhere to go anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Colin or Michael said that, so I don't know who to credit for that one, but that was a good line.
It's pretty funny, so I'm going to say Michael said it.
I don't want to make that assumption. But, odds are probably Michael.
We love you, Colin. We kid.
We tolerate you, Colin.
Oh God! All right.
I like how but Colin did have a nice line. He said, "Why does Rudy Giuliani look like Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's?"
Yeah.
And they had a picture of Mickey Rooney as this racist caricature of a Japanese man in that movie, which has not aged well.
Oh no, it has not.
It has not. And then we had a segment on hooking up during quarantine from Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
Which I thought this was a funny monologue. He threw a little shade at Colin. He said, like, "Hey, you're locked in a house with Scarlett Johansson. You're probably terrified they'll find a cure." Which, yeah. Colin's quarantine experience is probably somewhat different than the rest of ours.
Yeah, he's with Black Widow. He's going to be all right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hopefully they're happy and healthy, but I feel like the biggest problem in that household was probably that her movie got delayed.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Oh, but then Pete went on to say how he's quarantined in Staten Island, where washing your hands before dinner is their version of coming out.
Yeah, and he also introduced the. He was talking about how the I think it's the CDC has released guidelines over like what sex acts are okay, and like you should avoid kissing. Like you can do certain sex acts, but you have to avoid kissing. So it's like Pretty Woman rules.
Yeah, he got graphic with it. Like there was something where he couldn't. They described something on that CDC website, but they couldn't say it on NBC. So he had to
Yeah.
call it like backside smooching or something like that.
Tiny smoocheroos.
Tiny smoocheroos.
Which, yeah, I'm gonna. That's a term that we can all add to our vocabulary. Tiny smoocheroos.
God, it sounds like the way your dad would describe it too.
So,
Or maybe just my dad. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, who knows? But I thought this was funny. I thought this was like probably the highlight of the Weekend Update segment.
Yeah, I dug it. Like Pete, I've always said like Pete in sketches, Pete's like touch and go, but when it's just him talking, that's when he's at his best. That's when he shines.
Yeah. I mean, I think that just comes very naturally to him because of his stand-up background. So he's used to just talking to an audience, directly to an audience. So yeah, that's very much in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the end of this, Colin mentioned the this all-in challenge thing that they have going on, where I guess if you want, you could like log on to the all-in challenge / SNL News, and then if you win, you can have Che read a joke you wrote without him pre-reading it.
Yeah, that's interesting. And he read a joke that he hadn't read before about there being a woman, like a first woman making it to Mars, so that when the male astronauts arrive, the woman will have dinner ready. Which is so wrong, but damn it, it's funny.
Yeah, that pow.
So yeah, that seems like an interesting promotion. I haven't checked that out yet, but are you going to submit something, Darren?
I just might. I mean, I got nothing but time on my hands, so like, why not?
Yeah, I think that might be something I want to look into too. That would be fun, and hey, that would be a great promotion for the podcast. So why not? Let's give that a try.
All right, dude, let's do it.
Okay. So next we're going back to the sketches. We had Soul Cycle at Home, which is another one of their recurring bits right now with Soul Cycle. Usually it's the instructor. The instructor's switching off at a spin class. But here, because everybody's quarantined, there are no bikes, but they're like, you can still watch us work out. And so a very rapid fire thing with Cecily, Bowen, Ego, Chris Red, Beck, and Heidi. I think that was everybody.
Yeah, Cecily played Phoenix, as in the University of.
Yes.
And Ego played Corona, who was told that she was pretty enough to act, but not model. So now she's on TikTok, where she does neither.
Yes. And she's Corona with a K, so don't worry. She is perfectly safe. Chris Red played Toyota, and Beck's character Robert said that he was under house arrest. So before the Corona, he wasn't even getting out. And Heidi said she was on Molly. Well, she is Molly, but I think she was also on Molly. So,
right. Yeah, I mean, I always get a kick out of these sketches just because the jokes are so rapid fire. Like I was trying to write, like as I was trying to write one joke to mention on the podcast, like 5 jokes just went by me, and like it's one of those things where you got to go back and watch it just to catch the jokes you missed the first time around. So it's just like rapid fire.
Yeah. This was only 3 minutes, but it's a very dense 3 minutes. They pack a lot in, and I didn't rewatch it before the podcast today, but I think I'll probably rewatch this one just for fun. I think the Soul Cycle sketches are always pretty solid, and if there's something you don't like in it, they're on to something else so quickly that it doesn't matter too much.
Very much so. Like there was that one, I forget, it was Bowen Yang. She was talking about. I'm not even going to try to say, because like it was like a thing about how Bill Cosby was canceled and how dare us because we need doctors right now.
Yeah, I don't even remember that, but Google Soul Cycle at Home. That was one of the highlights of the episode, I think.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of jokes.
Yep. So next we had a Keenan solo piece, O.J. Simpson Address, with Keenan Thompson playing O.J. Simpson from what I guess was Keenan's front porch.
Yeah.
And apparently O.J. actually did tweet about SNL returning this week. So this was in response to that, I think.
Oh, really?
I think so. I believe that was like an actual thing that OJ did. I don't know for sure, though, because I when O.J. Simpson joined Twitter, I was like, well, I'm blocking this motherfucker.
Yeah. Good move.
Yeah, I mean, like, O.J. Simpson, yeah, he crossed a line, I will say. I know that's kind of a radical stance, but I don't want to follow O.J. Simpson on Twitter.
Oh, suddenly murdering people is crossing a line. Look at what a
Yeah, I mean, double homicide, that's one of my deal breakers.
What a prude.
Yeah. This is kind of a quick thing. It was just a little over 2 minutes, but I thought this was all right. I thought this was funny. I thought it was a good showcase for Keenan. I didn't write down any lines from it, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me neither. Like I mean, it's OJ. He'll just hit the beats that he's a bit of a murderer, and and like it's. I thought it was okay, and I didn't think it was that great.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
So next we had another FaceTime sketch.
Yeah,
you see what I mean about them working from kind of a limited pool.
I get it now. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. We had a FaceTime sketch with Paul Rudd, and that was a nice surprise. He's FaceTiming with his cousin Mandy, played by Heidi Gardner.
Yes,
who I didn't realize until our follower Ruby the Rube tweeted about this. This was a character that Heidi had done before.
Really? When?
I don't have it up, but she has done the character before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find that tweet.
Okay. I mean, I did not know that. I think I knew that.
Yeah.
I did know that. I think like Paul Rudd and Heidi Gardner are both from Missouri, so I was like, oh, it's like a little Missouri connection here happening.
Oh, okay.
I think like she's from Kansas City and he's from St. Louis, or I believe.
That sounds right. Yeah, I will say yes. I can't find the tweet, but yeah, Heidi did this character of Mandy before.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, it's some good character work by Heidi as always. I dug this one. It's basically kind of all on her to kind of carry most of the sketch. Although Paul Rudd's kind of like the straight man in it. But either way, I got a kick out of the sketch. It's like her being the cousin and saying some pretty crazy things.
Yeah, I mean, this was okay. For me, the highlight was just seeing Paul Rudd, because seeing Paul Rudd always makes me feel better.
Yes. Oh, he warms our hearts and our souls and our minds.
Yeah, and I mean, who wouldn't want to be quarantined with Paul Rudd? Really?
That's the dream. Okay. Quarantine with Paul Rudd or Scarlett Johansson. Go.
That is Sophie's choice right there, man. I think all things being equal, I might go with Paul Rudd, because I mean, Scarlett's with Colin. What's going to happen there? Let's be real. I mean, I think I would probably have more fun being quarantined with Paul Rudd, while maintaining our proper 6-foot distance.
Right.
But hopefully I wouldn't get on his nerves too much. What about you? Same question.
You got to go Rudd. I mean, the man's just a big old ball of light. He's just all things to all people.
Yeah.
That's the correct.
I agree. I think Thanos didn't destroy the other half of the universe in Endgame because he realized that would be the half of the universe that had Paul Rudd in it, and that's just too evil.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. Wow, you gave me some food for thought there, my friend.
Yeah, I did. I'm a deep guy.
Wow, this quarantine's treating you well.
But let's see. Next, we had a sketch called The Reveal, which was basically like the end of a murder mystery with Beck as Detective Sims, and he's got all his suspects on a Zoom call. The suspects were Cecily, Bowen, and Chris, and they're waiting for the last suspect, Debbie, to log on.
Yeah.
I really liked this premise. I thought this was cool. I thought this was really clever.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of, I don't know, like, I thought this was interesting, but I don't know if I was able to get on board with it. Just because, like, as they're waiting for the fourth suspect to get online, like, one suspect starts singing a song, like, that she's working on, and then they all start singing the song, then the detective saying, oh, I work in music too, like, manly macho rock. And then he starts singing, I I don't know. I don't. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts on it? It's like you should go into it.
It was such an absurd premise. I kind of liked it just for that. The singing, yeah, that was a weird digression, but I liked the idea of them killing time while they're waiting for the last suspect to log on. And I love the line he says, "Oh, I emailed her the warrant. She clicked attending." I just love the concept of him emailing her a warrant and being like, "Hey, you're suspected of murder. I'm going to interview you via Zoom." So I'm pretty forgiving towards this sketch because of that. That concept tickled me more than the execution of it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm favorably inclined to it because of that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I thought it was okay, but I thought it was all right.
Let's see. Next, we're getting into the home stretch here.
So many sketches.
Like we said, there are a lot of sketches, man. Next, we had a fake commercial that was kind of parroting all the various touching commercials that we see on TV these days, where every company just wants to let us know how much they're behind us and how much they support us and how much they love us and
Yeah, like we'll get through this, America. We're with you.
Yeah.
We stand by you.
yeah. And so it really just seemed like every other commercial on TV. And then we had the turn at the end when we discovered that it is a commercial for Pornhub.
Yes, which as I understand it, that's a website that has pornography on it or something.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't.
It is. I had to look this up, but it is apparently some sort of hub for pornography.
Oh, good heavens!
So yes, there is apparently pornography on the internet.
Whoa! What?
I don't know how this happened, but yeah.
What has happened to my America, guys? I don't. This is the first I'm hearing about this. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch any of that. I'm a good Christian boy. If my mom's listening, and I use the internet to look up Bible verses and places where I can donate to my local churches.
As you do. Yes. But I agree. This was a real quick thing. It was just like less than a minute and a half, and after the reveal that it's Pornhub, we see people like starting to go to town. We see Mikey Day like swiftly closing his laptop when his son comes by. Yeah. And because he's quarantined, I'm assuming his real life son. So.
I think that is his actual son. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. And Streeter Seidel, one of our favorites, he tweeted that this was written with him and Mikey Day and directed by Paul Briganti. And so, very nice job. Very, and it hit on a lot of different cast members. Very nicely edited, real quick. Didn't overstay its welcome. I think for me, sketch of the show.
I would say so. Yeah. And again, this is the sketch where I was like, oh wow, they really stepped up the production on the show. Just because this was definitely leaps and bounds above what they did on the last at home sketch on the last at home show.
Yeah, they really did take it up a few notches, and I'm just really impressed with the technical team. I don't know if they're somehow shooting it themselves remotely, or if they're just instructing the cast members really well, or it's some combination. But it's really great.
Absolutely.
So, off to all the SNL crew working under trying circumstances.
Absolutely.
So let's see. Next, we had another recurring sketch, Whiskers Are We. This was pretty much a Kate McKinnon solo thing, just basically her riffing with her cats.
Yeah, I mean, she's done this character before on various other shows, and she's always it was always like her with another person, but now this is just her, and just trying to get rid of cats during this quarantine time. But it just seems like she's just using her own cat because it's she's quarantined.
We saw like two different cats, so I think Kate McKinnon has two cats apparently.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yes, there's one that's like black and white, and there was another with more golden coloring, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
but yeah, she said that because a lot of people have adopted pets to get them through the quarantine, she says the only cats that she has left are the bottom of the barrel nobodies.
Right. And she's like,
Go ahead.
Well, no, I was gonna say, she said, this one is an alley cat because all she wants is her belly rubbed.
Yes. And she then said, my small business loan didn't go through. It went to Shake Shack. This was a real loose kind of ramshackle sort of sketch. I feel like Kate just improv half of it just based on whatever her cats happen to be doing at that moment.
Yeah, it's weird how you see, like, this came right after the Pornhub commercial, which was like all high, production. And then we go back to this, which is just like, Kate on her iPhone, basically.
Yeah, super lo-fi. Yeah, it's interesting to see like the varying technical prowess that people seem to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next, we had "What's My Name," which was a Kyle Mooney solo thing, pretty much, where he's playing every person at a party, and he encounters one other guest, also played by Kyle Mooney, and he sings a song about not remembering the guy's name.
Yeah, this was a weird one, but yeah, it's just like he's at a party with himself and other people who look just like him, or as he said, and then he can't remember one person's name, and then it kind of cuts to this music video he shot that had like 80 styles rock, and he's on the keyboard and he just singing about how he doesn't know a person's name. And
and the other person they instead of reintroducing themselves and be like, "Oh, I don't know if you remember me, I'm such and so," they make it a challenge, like, "Hey, you remember my name?" And now you're really on the spot because you're just like, "Ugh." So I related to this because I am not especially good with names. I remember faces because I think very visually, but I am bad with names.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, names can be a tricky thing.
Yeah, I mean, they can be, Dennis.
Hey,
what?
That's not me.
Did I not get that right?
No, you did not.
Oh, okay. Well, I tried.
Come on, Jim.
Yeah. This was all right. It seems like we say this every time that Kyle Mooney does something on the show, but he's very hit and miss with me. I guess this was a little more hit than a miss. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say a bunt. It was like it.
There you go.
Yeah, I got what he was doing. But it's still so strange, especially at the very end where he gets the guy's name right on the first try, and then he sings a song about that, and then he ends up just disappearing, like literally just evaporating.
Yeah, he just fades away. Weird kind of surreal touch to put at the end, a little kind of absurdist or postmodern, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't say this was a home run, but he got on base.
Yeah, he got there. We got there.
Yeah. So next we had another solo piece from Melissa Villasenor. Melissa Seals the Deal is what this is called on YouTube, which is basically her having a date with a non-existent guy, but she's just playing through all the stages of a date.
Yes, very much so. Like she's talking to somebody who's literally not there, and it's just them, about to consummate, as you do, and then it goes into the bedroom, and there's still no one there, and then she like makes out with the air, as one does, and then it kind of goes to the bedroom, gets all sexy, and then it cuts to like stock footage of a bunch of, like a man parasailing and drilling and what have you.
Yeah. There were a lot of different camera angles in this, and considering that, I'm assuming Melissa did this herself, or maybe she had a person helping her. I don't know if she's quarantining with somebody, but there were so many different camera angles. I started wondering, like, how many takes did she have to do with this?
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming she just had the one camera to work with, but who knows? So yeah, I just started to wonder how like it was technically produced more than than the sketch itself.
Yeah, it looked like it was really well done. Not super well done, but it definitely better done than like a person would have if they just had like an iPhone or something. I was like, wow, you got a crew with you back there?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Melissa's quarantining with a camera crew.
Yeah.
And more power to her if she is.
Yeah. It's like a crafting table. Yeah. Look at she has a DP and everything. Good lord.
That Melissa Villasenor, she does not miss a trick. I got a quarantine. I better get a DP.
I'm going to need gaffers.
I need a boom mic guy. I need this.
Gaffers. I need gaffers.
I need craft services.
And some toilet paper, maybe, if you got it.
Yeah. That would be hilarious.
Oh.
But I like this. This was cute.
Yeah, this is definitely a cute, quirky Melissa joint.
Yeah, very, very much her wheelhouse. And then let's see. Lastly, we had Adie Bryant's childhood journal, which exactly what it sounds like. She is literally going through one of her childhood journals and talking about how she had an obsession with turtles, but she didn't know how to spell turtles.
Right.
And
so she spelled it turtles.
Yeah. I didn't find this terribly interesting.
Yeah. I mean, kudos for her for going through her own past and kind of sharing it with the world and just kind of riffing on it and making fun of it, though. But yeah, for the most part, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a weak one to end the night on, and I was also irritated because at one point apparently she showed a cartoon and she called the words above the character's head speech bubbles, which I'm sorry, Adie, I went to comic book school. I went to the Joe Kubert School, class of '97. They're called word balloons. Okay.
Oh boy. All right.
You know. Just so you know.
I think she was just trying to relate to the layman who may not know the correct speech or the proper wording of it.
Word balloons is a clear term.
You'd be surprised.
You can get that from context.
I think a lot of people will be like, "Oh, you mean balloons with words on them, like they sell in the gift shop?"
They float over people's heads like balloons. They have tails pointing to the mouths, like the string on a balloon.
You lost me.
Okay. Well, this will make sense if you're not as dumb as Darren.
Thank you. So, exactly. Yeah. Boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's our show.
Yeah, and there was also a Cut for Time sketch that Cecily Strong did, which was a message from Governor Whitmer, who has been under fire from the president in the last week or so. She's the mayor of Michigan, I believe.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah. She posted it on her Instagram, and it's also on the Saturday Night Live YouTube channel with the other episode 17 sketches. So that's worth checking out. It's just Cecily speaking to the camera in character as Governor Whitmer. So
I'll give it a look-see.
Yep. Okay. So, I mean, what did you think of this episode overall, Darren?
Overall, I kind of prefer the first one a little bit more, but I think this one had some stronger sketches, if that makes any sense.
Why do you prefer the first one more if you thought this one had stronger sketches then?
I mean, I think the first one had maybe I like the DIY feel of it a little bit more.
Okay.
Or I don't know, or maybe just the fact that I didn't expect them to do this. Maybe that endeared it to me a little bit more than
sure.
This. I mean, the second one had the production value, like I said, was higher. I think it had some better sketches. I like the Airbnb sketch. I like the Chris Red sketch. I think it had, and Pornhub. I think it had some stronger hits. Oh, and Soul Cycle. I think it had some stronger hits, but I think overall, I don't know. Maybe there was a little bit more. I didn't jive with this episode than the last one. Miley Cyrus and the OJ and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, I think definitely the musical segment, the Chris Martin was much better than Miley Cyrus last time around. But I thought overall, I would say this was a stronger show. It was a little more polished. It was a little more ambitious, and I appreciated both of those. I thought they had some stronger sketches. I liked What's Up with That. I liked the grocery store ad. The Pornhub ad was hilarious. Soul Cycle was good. I even enjoyed the OJ thing. So I thought the last half of the show a little monotony set in just because we had to do just by necessity so many Zoom and FaceTime sketches, and it got a little old. Um, and I was thinking about maybe what they could do to do that, and I think they should have a segment where they just let the SNL band play, and they could all play remotely from their various homes, and they could weave that together. I mean, I think the Metropolitan Opera did a whole thing where they had a whole orchestra playing, and I've seen the cast of Hamilton. They sang the opening number from Hamilton on John Krasinski's YouTube show.
Right.
So I know it would be technically possible, and it would add some more variety to the show. So that's something I would really like to see. Like give Lemony Pickett a nice showcase.
I could see that. Did you see that that Jersey for Jersey that came on a few days ago?
I missed that. I was doing something else when that came around. How was that?
I really dug it because, like, when you mentioned the musical performances, that reminded me of that. And I mean, they had the Jersey standouts like the Boss, and then they had Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Then they had like SZA did a set, Halsey did a set because she's from Jersey, but the one that I really liked was they did a dedication to Adam Schlesinger.
Oh, nice!
And then they had all the members of Fountain of Wayne perform the song Hackensack, and
nice.
And on bass they had Sharon Van Etten, who's also a Jersey native.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very cool. I'm going to have to try and find that online and check that out because I don't know if I want to see every minute of that thing. I'd probably skip over the musical acts I'm not interested in, but I definitely want to check out the tribute to Adam Schlesinger.
Yeah, for me, that was pretty much the highlight. I mean, they had like other bits here and there. Like they had like comedians from Jersey, like Jon Stewart,
right.
Chelsea Handler. And then they had people who live in Jersey now, like Whoopi Goldberg and Chris Rock say a few things here and there. Colbert. But for the most part, that Schlesinger thing, that's the one that hit home for me. It's like, SNL should do something like that.
Yeah. I did last Friday. The cast of That Thing You Do, they did a YouTube event where they were watching the movie together, and they were just doing a running commentary on that, and that was a lot of fun. They did that as a tribute to Adam Schlesinger and also to raise money for coronavirus relief in his name. So I really enjoyed that. That was great.
Far out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I thought this show was pretty good. I mean, it was definitely more polished than the first time around, and I dug it. I look forward to them doing it a third time.
Yeah, and it looks like next week, as we said, they're rerunning the Daniel Craig show with The Weeknd as the musical guest. But after that, on May the 9th, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if come 2 Thursdays from now, they announce that they're doing this a third time.
That's right. We get another YouTube album type of announcement from them saying that they're going to do another episode at home.
Yeah. So I'm sort of half expecting it now. So I won't be upset if they do that and we have to. So we won't have to like change our plans at the last minute like before.
Absolutely.
So let's see. I'm looking at the Twitter page to see if we got any cool bits of feedback. I already read a tweet from our buddy Scott Hume. Let's see. He said that after the fantastic performances of the last two SNL at home, maybe future musical guests should do covers of classic songs. Miley was great. Hard to disagree with you there, Scott, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a few more covers.
Yeah, like somebody doing what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding, or something like that. It's like something inspiring for the folks.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I'm always up for a Elvis Costello Nick Lowe song. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Who isn't?
and hell, get Elvis Costello.
Yeah, what's he do?
Yeah,
He's not busy.
he'll blow the roof off the joint. I guarantee you, man.
Ooh.
Let's see, Mikey. I can't really read his handle because he's got some underscores on there, so I have no idea how it is. But it's Mikey with 2 E's. He said, Sudeikis back in the red tracksuit made me about as happy as Dr. Anthony Fauci must be. He gives a thumbs up and a nice little gif of Jason Sudeikis dancing.
Yeah, again. I mean, again, like that's what's up with that sketch. Like it makes me smile. It makes me so happy. Like as soon as I see Jason in the red tracksuit dancing and Fred Armisen coming out looking at Zoot from the Electric Mayhem Band, and it just makes me so damn happy. It gives me the smiles, John.
Yeah, and God knows we all need as many smiles as we can get these days.
Absolutely.
Nick Storr said that Brad Pitt's accent was pretty spot on. He also has a mock exchange between Lorne and Keenan. Lorne, so Keenan, your final season is probably done. Keenan, but I never got to do one last what's up with that. Lorne, okay, we'll do one more SNL at home.
All right.
That's a cute exchange. But has Keenan confirmed that this is his final season on the show? I don't believe that's been confirmed, has it?
No, it hasn't. Like, I mean, as far as I know, Keenan will be on that show until we're all dead and gone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that in the post-apocalyptic world that we are going to be living in soon, the one thing we can count on is that Keenan will still be doing Saturday Night Live in one form or another.
Absolutely. Once everybody is, when the Earth is all done and the human race is over, it'll just be Keenan performing in front of robots and sentient beings.
Right. He'll just be like a Futurama head in a jar type of thing.
Yeah, that's what I get. That's my impression. That's what I got.
Yeah. And let's see. There's a nice tweet from Bowen Yang that you retweeted. He says, not to be a sap bitch, but the post-production people at NBC SNL are on all non-parallel gods of creation who have worked so hard these last 2 shows. And like, ugh, I know that making network TV isn't the most ennobling job in the world at the moment, but everyone there made me smile last night.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's a really nice sentiment from Bowen Yang, and it's nice for him to give a shout out to the post production people because they were really bringing it.
Unsung heroes.
Mm-hmm. So that is it for SNL this week. I believe next week we're going to get back to our original plan where we watch the Netflix movie A Futile and Stupid Gesture, all about National Lampoon's Doug Kenny.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we've talked about it on an episode before briefly, but now we're really going to get into the meat and potatoes of it next week.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that. We both seen the movie before. We both like the movie, but it'll be nice to do a deep dive into it.
Hear, hear.
So I think that is about it. So please give us a like and a follow over on the Twitter page at SNL Nerds Show. You can also follow our individual Twitter accounts. I'm at Trumbull Comic, TRUMBULL, and then the word comic.
I'm at Darren Credible on Twitter and Instagram, DARIN Credible.
Yes, and you can also go over to Non-Productive.com and give us a follow over there. You can subscribe and contribute to the Patreon. And if you like the podcast, please give us a review on the podcast app of your choice, because that really does help us out.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking at our reviews now. The last time we got a review was in February, and that's like post-pandemic or pre-pandemic.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a while. So, yeah, if you want to do that, we would really like that. We've got a decent number of followers on the Twitter sphere right now. So, yeah, please, if you're listening to this, give us a review if you haven't done so already.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, even just a star rating, that helps out immensely.
Yeah, just give us like a thumbs up emoji. We'll get it.
Yeah. We're very emotionally needy, and we need all the validation that we can get.
Here. We can't do stand up now, so we got to get our fix somewhere.
Yeah. This is our big creative outlet right now. So.
Gimme! This is it.
So yes, but in the meantime, please, everyone, stay safe. Stay indoors, however possible. Contribute to the charities and the support wherever you can. I'm making a speech now, but check your news. And but we will be with you next Monday talking about a futile and stupid gesture. And until then, nerds out.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.